Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and I'm so glad that you could be here today. You don't have to look like this or this to embody dark feminine energy. You don't have to have a positive canthal tilt or giant cheekbones or big pouty lips or a tiny button nose to be a part of this aesthetic. You can have your natural features enhanced and work on your inner energy to bring out your dark feminine. I'm going to be going through some fashion and styling tips to bring out your dark feminine energy. Along the way, I'll be showing some examples and putting together my own lookbook. Very Tom Ford Gucci, very Victoria Beckham in the Spice Girls as Posh Spice, very any runway really from the mid-90s, so 1996 to 1999. If that's something that you like, stay tuned. So I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm going to be reading from a script and I have really bad memory, so I had people in my past tell me when they first saw me that I looked like a witch or gave off really witchy vibes, as well that I look like a femme fatale. I think that the latter is pretty hilarious, but honestly, I've definitely thought about it in my own fantasy world. What I typically gather from all of that is that there is an energy that I seem to radiate, and whatever the energy is, people just always assume dark. People always think, oh, witch, or oh, femme fatale, or something along the lines of having a bit of a mystique. I think it also feels natural. I also feel called to a lot of darker things in general, but to be totally honest, I love this dark feminine vibe or dark wear. What I really like about it are the dark colors, obviously, the rich textures, lace, velvet, chiffon, sheer, even all types of boots, leathers. Just to sort of echo here, I think that it really does align with my natural sense of self. I like a lot of sleeker looks. I like fitted silhouettes. Dark feminine and its energy doesn't need to be boring and one note, but it needs to be a you energy that's unique. Still appealing and magnetic, and uniquely you and refined. So I like a lot of the funkier looks still, with eccentric stylings. I like some maximalist looks. So those are things that I generally do like, but what I feel that I'm always going back to, no matter what I always gravitate toward is the dark feminine. It's this idea of something that is sleeker, perhaps even timeless, or timely. It doesn't really matter, but really what you're evoking is this mystique. It's something that's a little bit darker. Not evil, not dark-sided, not scary, just a mystique that is bolstered by what you wear. What I want to do next is to explore a bit of a baseline. What is dark feminine to me versus what isn't? What we have here is two good looks, but what exudes dark feminine to you? The one on the left is what I call dark feminine, and the one on the right is a little outside of that zone. The left has a sleeker and understated look, the column silhouette with velvets, roses, dark leather boots, and overall feminine appeal. The one on the right, however, is feminine, of course, but what I did here is play with the proportions. They are longer, less defined, less fitted, and overall doesn't have the same energy as the one on the left. I have worn the look on the right on days when I crave a more oversized look, but the point is to show you proportions, silhouettes, and associations. Let's take a quick moment here and talk about personality types that I associate with dark feminine. So this is a fun experiment. It's not a catch-all. It's not meant to be 100% accurate. Don't base all of your life's decisions on this. Don't take financial advice from this. This is simply what I have noticed. You can be introverted, extroverted, or ambivert, but having a higher intuition, like you listen to your heart and to your gut to make judgment calls, decisions, etc. You feel like you have a higher intuition because you're sensitive to your environment and to energy. You feel things a lot more intensely than others, and you're more attuned to your inner world. And if you want, I can talk more about this in another video. Usually creative people who are great problem solvers and are independent thinkers. Not letting people tell them what to do or what to think are a great fit for this energy and for this aesthetic. It doesn't really have anything to do with your natural look. It's what you make with your natural look. Just like what I said at the beginning, it's about how you construct yourself. So let's take a look at this picture of Rose McGowan. Here she's wearing pink as well as wearing a green handbag. Even though she's wearing some colors, she still has this natural type of dark feminine energy. To me, I feel like she's the blueprint of dark feminine energy along with Monica Bellucci. But with Rose McGowan, what I've found over the years is that she will wear some brighter colors, either on a red carpet or even on Charmed. Now, of course, on Charmed, she's playing a character, but even so, you can see how sweet she is, sure, but she still emits this darker, much more alluring energy. And even in this picture, she's wearing pink and green again. And even in this picture, she's wearing all pink. So she has this energy about her that emits this dark feminine. It also aligns well with her personality and her low threshold for BS. Dark colors work for this because it's chic and elevated yet simple, but never boring. It's only boring if you try. Okay, so next we're going to put together some outfits. This is the lookbook portion of the video. Let's get into it. Before we really get into it, apologies if you can see any cat hair on any of my clothing. I have 3 beautiful, gorgeous kitties, so of course their glitter, their fur will always be on my clothes. This is the first one. This is a quintessential dark feminine outfit for me. What I love about this is exactly what you see. So what I'm wearing is a midi length dress that I got at the thrift store. It has a halter neck. And then what I'm wearing on top is just a simple sweater that I got new from H&M. What I quite like about this is how sleek it is and how fitted it is, but also how chic it is. It has this type of subversiveness because of the fact that I'm not just wearing a simple top, I'm wearing a top over top of a really interesting dress. It's an asymmetrical cut as well as a halter neck. Those two together with the sweater really elevate this look into something that's very chic. Remember, I wore this to work a number of times. It's always a crowd pleaser, but it's most of all a Hannah pleaser. This is just one of those really chic outfits. Altogether, this is super elevated. It's also quite minimal as well. In my last video where I talked about things that I find irresistibly chic, I talked about simplicity and much more understated outfits. What I was also evoking there wasn't necessarily about whether or not it's boring, because I don't think that it is. It's energy. And I think when I put this on, it feels like it's second skin. It feels like it is me, but with clothes. Just as an aside here, as we go to the next look, I'm going to be wearing pretty much the same boots throughout. The reason I decided to do this is not because I was lazy, even though I'm a little lazy, but because I wanted this to be quite accessible. You don't have to have a giant shoe collection to participate in dark feminine, and you certainly don't have to have a huge closet or a huge wardrobe to participate either. It's really about finding what calls to you. And also about finding really durable items and items that will last for quite some time. This look is quite lovely. Again, this dress is a dress that I've worn to work so many times over the years. I think I've had this dress for probably about 5, maybe close to 7 years. It's made in Italy. I didn't find a brand tag, unfortunately, but what I do like about this is that besides it being completely black, it has some red trim, and it has red trim along the chest as well as the hem, and it's paired with this gorgeous sheer mesh. Again, I'm keeping things really simple here, just highlighting some simplicity in accessories. I always have the same stack on my left arm here. There is a watch, an evil eye bracelet made out of glass beads, and my wedding ring. Okay, I like this one, and now that I'm looking at it, it is a little ostentatious in a way, but hopefully it grows on me. So I have a bustier top here. It's quite colorful, and I wanted to show a little bit of color along with this grounding darker color, which would be black here. I'm pairing it with a choker. I haven't been into chokers lately. I don't know what it is about chokers. Sometimes I feel really good in them, and other times I feel a little tacky. I don't know where this is riding that line, but I hope it looks good, and I still hope it looks elevated. So here I'm wearing an almost maxi full leather skirt. This is from the 80s. I thrifted this probably this summer and I have been itching to wear it, so I'm really happy I got to show it off here. There's been quite a few pictures of Monica Bellucci in a long leather skirt. That leather skirt that I'm talking about is from Alaya. Clearly I don't have that skirt, and clearly I don't think I could ever afford that skirt either, but that was the inspiration for this look, or at least slightly. Okay, I love this one. When I put this one together, I just had a giant smile on my face. The top is new, and I think I bought it about 10 years ago from Forever 21. Could you believe it? What I'm wearing under is a lovely lace bralette. This time it's a different leather skirt. I believe it's also by Denier, and I thrifted this probably around the same time that I thrifted that longer leather skirt. I got quite lucky at the thrift store. This is something I would consider very elevated, perhaps high fashion, something that is timeless. I don't think that this look will ever go out of style. This is the clip that I showed you earlier when we were talking about dark feminine. I just wanted to break it down a little bit more. So everything here that you see is thrifted, down to the shoes, which is of course those Franco Sarto boots. The skirt is a velvet double slit maxi skirt. It's probably my true blue favorite. I don't think that I have anything else that I adore more than this skirt. And then the top is also thrifted. I think it's by a brand called Jacquard. This one gives me a little bit more of a witchy vibe, or something that's a little bit more on the casual vibe, but still very put together, as well as very dark feminine. This one is what I would consider a pretty hot outfit. So this outfit didn't look like this at first. It looked kind of crazy. It looked like a bit of a costume. I decided to pair this pinstripe bustier with a pinstripe mini skirt, and I thought it looked really good. I got ready for this shot, I put it on, and I just burst out laughing. I don't know what I was thinking about when I first put the outfit together. I think I believed it looked really good, but it obviously didn't. So I decided to switch it out for a pair of gorgeous trousers. So again, everything you see here, minus the tube top that I'm wearing and my glasses, are thrifted. So the trousers are newly acquired secondhand, and I think that it did a really lovely job here, just playing with the overall silhouette. Here I have a Fredericks of Hollywood bustier top. Now that I'm looking at it, I think in hindsight I would probably wear not a tube top, but something that was a little bit more similar to the shape of the bustier. This one happened on accident. I knew that I wanted to wear this gorgeous sheer dress that I thrifted at the Salvation Army, but I didn't really know in what direction I wanted to take it in. I knew that I obviously wanted to wear something under it, but I didn't know what. So I tried on a bunch of different combinations, and ultimately I wasn't really happy with what I came up with. And then I remembered that I have this lovely tube top, halter top that I wore in my last video, things that I find irresistibly chic, and thought, you know what, I bet this is really gonna work. Love how delicate and sheer the overdress is. I'm actually recreating that Rose McGowan picture that I showed you initially. I love that picture, and I just wanted to try it out because I knew that I had basically everything that she's wearing. Even though there are different colors in here, such as pink and green, I think that the black jacket really ties it in together and brings a little bit more of that darker feminine energy out. I decided to do something quite simple, but I think it has a big impact. I'm wearing a thrifted blazer. I'm not sure where this blazer is from. There's absolutely no tag on it. I looked, but it is not only fully lined, but the structure, it is so luxurious. I feel like it's either from a luxury brand or somebody made this. Either way, I am very impressed. The trousers I'm wearing are from Isabella Verana. I think they are her Chloe trousers, although I cannot be too sure. Alright, this is my very last look. So this look is based on a Calvin Klein look. I quite like this look because it's so simple. It's understated, it's effortless, it's chic, it's elevated, it is dark feminine. So again, I'm wearing those Isabella Verena trousers and I'm wearing those slingback mules, but now I'm wearing a mini dress. It is a tube mini dress. I bought this during the summer because I wanted to recreate this look. I wanted to find a really long tube top, but couldn't find it, so I ended up finding a mini dress instead, and I think it works pretty well here too. It gives you a nice long line, something really sleek and again understated, but still that dark feminine. I decided to also pair it with this chiffon rosette. I think ultimately, and I really only did this for the video because I would probably not have anything at all on. I would probably lean a little bit closer to the reference photo. My hope for this video was to give you a little bit of inspiration for this aesthetic, but to also talk about what's really important within this aesthetic, which is energy and confidence. It is what's within that'll show what's on the outside. You can have a low to medium contrast and you can still rock this look. It's just about finding something that really aligns with you. You don't always have to wear all black, all leather, all satin, but I hope that what I've been able to show so far has been at least some level of inspiration. You don't have to have a huge wardrobe. You can have something that is accessible and thrifted, affordable, or even luxurious. This aesthetic isn't cookie cutter. It should imbue your essence. My challenge for you is to live in a fantasy world with an aesthetic that works for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving me a like, and if you want to see what else I've got planned, consider subscribing and also following me on some other platforms as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.